Hello everyone. I want to talk about something that came to my attention. Well, not came to my attention, but I just want to address, and it's fear. So yesterday I created a video and I talked about that the thing that I fear most is regret, and so that's one of the things that keeps me moving forward. But I want to give you some context, and I've told this story before, but I want to give you some context because I want to ask you, what is standing on the other side of your fear? What is that experience, that thing that you could majorly alter your life if you just faced it? If you just walk through the fear, it's going to be painful, it's going to be uncomfortable, it's going to suck, but that's what fear is. But if it's not life or death, this is how I've come to, this is how my life has put it in perspective for me. So some of you know that as an only child, my father, this is how I got into tech. My father, I realized he had a terminal cancer, and so the summer of 2014, I spent caring for him. So being his only child, that was my greatest fear. My whole life, my dad and I were like this. So my whole life was, I thought I would die. I mean, literally, it's not me being hyperbolic or, exaggerating. I thought I would die if my dad died. And when he made his transition on August 21st, 2014, and I was still living, I got through the funeral, I got through taking care of all these things, and I recognized that I had to go on. I went to Maui for a week just to get myself together because Maui has always been a place that is pretty spiritual for me. And so I sent back a text message to my friends and family and said, I'm leaving education and I'm going into tech. And I put tech in quotes because the next line was, when I figure it out, I'll let you know. So for me, it was a very specific, gut-wrenching, the most devastating thing I thought I would die from experience that made me say, fuck. I lived through what I thought would kill me, and so I'm no longer going to be unhappy with my life. So that was my greatest fear. I lived through my greatest fear, and so now, unless my life is in danger, nothing else compares to it. No troll on Twitter, no person in the audience saying that I'm whatever, or why is this black woman on the stage? Why should I be listening to her? None of that is fearful for me. It may be uncomfortable. And so I ask you, what is on the other side of your fear? Again, it's not easy. None of this shit's easy. But if you want to have the life that you want to experience, that you've always dreamed of, what is that fear that's standing in your way of getting on the other side? That thing is on the other side of it. So there's fear, then there's this path that's very painful, uncomfortable, but the thing you want is over here. What is that thing? And those are the things we need to face. And in the tech spaces, a lot of that is inclusion and diversity. So you have conference organizers, you have business leaders, you have these individuals who they fear change or they fear what could happen, but it's like the exclusion is here, a whole bunch of uncomfortable shit is here, but inclusion is here. And so it's like, do you want a great conference experience for all your attendees? That's including volunteers, speakers, paid attendees, sponsors, venue employees, everybody. Do you want an experience for everybody who comes in contact with your event to be welcoming, safe, encouraging, or not? That's a yes or no question. Now, how we get there is not a yes or no answer. That's not black and white. It's not right or wrong. There's a lot of trial and error that has to go through this, but you have to keep your eye on what you want over here. And that also goes with a business, your organization. Does your culture not support all your stakeholders? So our employees, and when I say stakeholders, I think about four kinds of stakeholders: employees, partners, customers, and investors. So it becomes of, do you have a culture that is supportive of people who want to work with you, who want to partner with you, who want to buy from you, and who want to invest with you? And if you don't have that, then there's work that you need to be doing. You keep your eye on the prize of what that is. And if your culture or your business structure or your way of doing things is not what that is, this is the bullshit. This is a whole bunch of sloppy, uncomfortable, getting your feelings hurt shit on the inside. But on the other side of that is nirvana. It's where there's the sweet spot. And because our cultures are so bad, it's just the truth. I'm not a pessimist. I am a person. I'm a strategist. I'm a realist. I'm a I can't even think of the name right now, but you know what I'm talking about. It starts with a P, whatever. And I am that person who is a derivative of practical. So I know that much. I can't say the word right now, but because it's not coming to my head. But I see the things as they are, and a lot of our cultures, and I'll say this: if the majority of our cultures and communities weren't toxic and nasty and unwelcoming and exclusive and all these things, then you wouldn't need lists of 10 top companies to work for, 10 best cultures to work for, blah blah blah. You wouldn't need lists like that because it's so rare. So all it takes is for you to do. I mean, hell. Just a bit minimum, a minimum is better than what most people are experiencing in our technical communities and organizations. And you won't stop there, because once you do a bare minimum, you'll see it pays off in community support, in ROI, in profits. You'll see that, and you'll keep doing it. You'll keep going. You'll keep moving forward. And so it's all these things. So my question for my lovely tech people, what is it that is on the other side of your fear? What is it? Is there something you can do to face that? Is there something we can do as a community to help you face that? And that's what #CauseAscene is about. People think I'm being radical. Well, we need to be radical. Innovation doesn't happen if you're following the status quo. It just doesn't happen. We wouldn't have airplanes if we followed the status quo of, oh God, you can't put a thing up in the air. We need to be on the ground. It's unsafe up there. It takes radical. It takes saying fuck the status quo. It takes people being uncomfortable to make these changes. So I ask you, what is standing on the other side of your fear? And if it's not life or death, are you brave enough? Are you intentional enough? Are you committed enough to go through that and become the person that you want to be and have the experiences that you want to have? So have a wonderful day. Goodbye.